Hey there, welcome to Die Mad About It. It's the show where we tell Doug to fuck off and he, well, dies mad about it. I am Brooke, the truthful G, and I am here with
Amy, the president of WeMad.
we are going to be talking about today Dahmer, Brady, Levine, and Jesusween. And we have some things to say about Tom Brady and his divorce. I mean, how do you feel about that whole thing, Amy?
It's the classic, unfortunate, the sad part about it is it's so classic, right? For women to support their partners as they live out their lifelong dreams. And I think what it came down to was he was supposed to give it up and finally commit that time back to her. And instead, he chose football. And I love the fact that she so publicly said, I'm out.
Do you think that's what happened?
I'm honestly think that's what happened.
Because he was with, not a lot of people know about it, maybe you do, but he was with Bridget Moynihan, who's an actress who was in like Men in Black and Sex and the City and not much since, which suspiciously, like, I feel like maybe had something to do with him, but he cheated on her when she was pregnant with their child.
Oh yeah.
And so you hear about like Adam Levine, which we'll talk about in a minute, and there's like Kevin Hart and Billy Crudup, and I wonder, like, was he straying, or did she is worth more than him, Giselle, so did she finally just be like, why am I with this fucking dude?
I mean, she could literally have anybody. The woman is gorgeous. Like, come on.
Even and like this 3 guy, kids later.
All right. I mean, this guy, he has an arm, and that's the extent of it.
He's not. I don't understand. Let me just say, I'm a Broncos fan. I'm a Seahawks fan. I've never liked the Patriots. I definitely was not on board with the Tom Brady situation. And then they won their championships. And that's great that he has an arm, but he's not cute to look at. No. He doesn't have an intelligent thought. He's like the male version of Herschel Walker.
Yeah. No, male version. No.
Isn't he a Trump supporter? I think he might be.
Oh, absolutely. He's a mess, and I don't even know if he knows what to support or what's even happening half the time. But he also, that whole deflate gate, and and then to be so petty that he says, I'm so good that I'm going to go to this shit team over here after I told you I was going to retire and not play for New England anymore. I'm going to go over here and take them to the Super Bowl. And then he does it. And he's like a giant child. Oh, yeah.
What team is he on now?
As soon as you asked me, I blanked on it. Buccaneers.
Oh, we Tampa don't Bay. Care.
Yeah.
He's on Tampa Bay.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. I can't.
It's like you're the biggest man-child example on the NFL.
Was he trying to pull like a Michael Jordan? Is that what he thought he was doing there?
I know, right? When he went and played baseball too, that was weird.
I don't know,
wasn't it?
Every time when I look at a picture of him, every time I see his face, he just looks like, like all goofy looking, like he's smiling with his big old eyes.
He was my favorite basketball player, I gotta say, growing up.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about Michael Jordan. I'm talking about Tom Brady.
Oh, yeah, back to that goofy.
Michael Jordan's fantastic. I don't got no bad thing to say about Michael Jordan. That's the GOAT. But every time I look at a picture of Tom Brady, he looks like he can't quite figure it out.
It's too much Botox. Like, give it a rest, man. Stop cementing face that many times.
Very wax museum looking situation. But we can go over to somebody who's a little prettier to look at, but not quite. And that's Adam Levine.
I mean, for me personally, whenever there's something like this comes out, it's like I want to like people. Generally, sure. I try. And I liked his music good enough. And I thought it was, his sexiest video with his wife, and he had her in it. And I thought that's really cool. But then when you hear about these scandals, immediately people are just disgusting to me.
No, but the texts though.
Oh,
did you see them?
He's like the little epitome. Exactly. He's the epitome of what we talk about. Oh your boobs of the way you dance.
That body's amazing.
Yeah. Is this the first time you've ever seen a woman?
You would think Adam Levine has seen many women, but I gotta be honest, I was a really big Maroon 5 fan when they came out, and then it just started to go really mainstream, which is fine, but they over and over play the songs in department stores. And then they had him at the NFL a couple of years ago or last year or whatever, and it's like, why is your shirt off? Why are you running around gyrating with your shirt off at the NFL Super Bowl? What was the point?
Well, we have now figured it out. He's desperate for attention.
Yeah, I do think that that's a thing. And there's like been studies about like absolute power corrupts and power corrupts absolutely. And I think that in cases like, I hate to compare him to Trump because I don't think we're quite that far over there, but I'm just saying like, once these men get a certain amount of power, then what, like Epstein, okay? And then like what happens when you have no rules? Well, you'll push boundaries and then things happen. And God, these women, I don't understand.
They deserve so much better.
Well, they do, but quite frankly, by the time somebody's sending me those kind of texts, like, I may need to see the booty, immediately no. Hard pass. Don't ever text me again.
Absolutely. Block.
Like, let's have some intelligent conversation, or at least attempt to. And then, I just the children that get involved, that's the sad part, is like they're gonna spread their seed. And I guess I shouldn't feel too bad for him. Like Giselle, even though she's worth more than Tom Brady, she will receive a fat check from him, as will Adam Levine's ex-wife. So and they're still fucking hot. Good for those bitches.
Right? No, amen.
But somebody who won't be writing anybody a fat check anytime soon at all, because it's Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh, God.
Like they released that whole documentary for Halloween, and you watch it and it just gets weirder and weirder.
Yeah.
And I make of it.
I know. I don't either. And I understand the fascination with the psychology of it all. Why someone would go to those lengths, how someone can have no empathy. Or, all those human characteristics that tell us what to do and what not to do. Morals, any moral compass, anything. Right. And so I get that fascination. But the fascination with the character that's playing him and then relaying the message over in terms of all these TikTok videos I keep seeing of large creators that are, oh, he's so hot. Me looking at Dahmer on screen.
Who's saying that?
And so
that kid is a very good actor. I'll give him that one. That kid's a good actor.
No, he's a great actor, and the kid is amazing. But instead, it's translating over as Dahmer was kind of sexy type of idea.
They're glorifying.
And there's a real problem with a lot of this. But the biggest issue that I see with all of this is that when you look at who Dahmer was targeting, it was Black homosexual men. Yeah. And so it's very easy for white, and even this one creator is a white gay male making this like he's so hot. And the problem is that they're disassociating because they're white, and so they weren't targets of this, and so they can see him as some sort of sexy role model, which is 100% not okay. It's not okay.
No, I don't know what goes on. That it makes me question those people's ability to ethically, like, these are people who vote.
Oh gosh, don't remind me.
But no, I made a TikTok about it, about how like people are saying like, well, Jeffrey Dahmer was a racist. Well, we can argue that he was or wasn't. He did kill white people as well. But what my takeaway after watching it is Jeffrey Dahmer was a man who benefited off, he was an opportunist who benefited off of a racist system. Because Absolutely. You have all of these people, minorities, saying, lock this guy up, lock him away. And that dad, that Laotian dad, I mean, 2 of his sons, so he was in the courtroom twice. And the cops don't care because it's just a Black woman reporting this. And so he even said it. Jeffrey Dahmer himself was like, the problem is it just kept getting easier. And that is the society that we have. So for people to say that, oh, this Black Lives Matter stuff is just brouhaha and, oh, we don't have a problem. Yeah, we clearly very much so do. Yeah. When you have Jeffrey Dahmer's dad writing to a judge begging him to lock him up because he just has a drinking problem, but all of these people died these horrible deaths, it's truly disgusting and disturbing. And I feel bad for the families who are re-victimized as a result of the documentary, but you almost couldn't not watch it,
Right. Yeah. So, and I definitely get into the psychology of it to some extent. And I have to be in the right mindset to be able to sit through any of that stuff. Because a lot of
couple episodes I skipped.
Oof. Yeah. Ouch. But I also saw another creator on TikTok come out and do a video where basically, one of these psycho Christian, like conservative Christian mentalities of how Jeffrey Dahmer is going to heaven. And he started into his whole TikTok about how he's saved because he, rattled off the name Jesus Christ, blah, 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 whatever, 3 Hail Marys. It's like, give me a break. And yet you guys are picketing outside of, pride parades with the gays are going to hell. Like, he eats people. I just eat pussy. You know what I'm saying? Give me a break. Come on. I don't know.
God.
Sorry. This one's going to be dirty. I just made it dirty. I'm sorry.
We need to put that on a t-shirt. Jeffrey Dahmer eats people. I just eat pussy.
Exactly.
Leave the gays alone.
Leave me alone.
That's another thing, though, is like, additional to the fact that like he did have maybe a chemical imbalance in his brain from like the drugs that his mom was given in utero and postpartum and things like that. Like, there also was a stigma around gay people. I mean, there still is, but I mean, you wonder if that didn't play into what he was doing or if he would have killed people anyways. It's hard to say who Jeffrey Dahmer would be in 2022.
Well, right.
But I'm sure he's out there.
Right. I mean, that's the creepy thing about it. I mean, the odds are that there has to be more people. Yeah. How many murders go unsolved? That it's
Yeah, the Christian aspect of it, I've never understood that whole thing. Well, in Catholics too, like, you go rape somebody, say 10 Hail Marys, and then go rape them again the next day.
Right.
I've been baptized a few times in my life. There's a lot of people trying to get the scent off this one. Can't be done. I never not
Congratulations.
once. Yeah, every time I got baptized, it's been like 4 or 5. They talk me into it every time. I'm like, all right, you can dip me in the water. I'm not doing anything. I got some time on my hands. I could use a shower, whatever. So like, but they would always bring me back up and be like, how do you feel? And I'd be like,
wet.
Like I'm wet.
I feel really wet right now.
Yeah, and they'd be like, you don't feel anything? And I would have to go along with it. Like, yeah. But I'd go home that night and be like, that was weird, because it was. I don't know.
Is weird.
For me, I feel like there's just, whether there's a heaven or a hell, a God or not, like, I'm atheist and kind of Buddhist for like all
dude
purposes,
same
but...
Are you really?
Yeah.
Wow. Have you heard of Thich Nhat Hanh? Not to get off track, we'll take it right
no
back.
but
okay,
I'll have to get that information from you and Google it. But no, I mean, meditative practices and things like that, and just working on like universal energy and things like that. That's more of the type of thing that I practice rather than a white man in the sky or a culturally appropriate white man in the sky and all that.
Right.
But so I just really feel like there are some things in the world that cannot be forgiven. And I would have to say Jeffrey Dahmer probably is not getting forgiven for eating 17 people.
I would have to agree.
I think it was 17. It might have been more than that. Speaking of
eating people, no.
So, so the Christians, the people who love the white Jesus, come up with this. I'm looking at it now, actually. This Jesusween, a day for everyone to hear and believe the Gospels. Oh my God, they've got like a whole website dedicated to it.
Oh wow, that's fantastic.
Jesusween, aka World Evangelism Day, is a global Christian gift-giving festival. Of course, the gift of money. Let's grift a little more in the name of the Lord. A season to share gospel and love and God's love to all mankind. I feel like Halloween could have been called Hallows Eve, and that would have been better. I don't know where the ween portion comes from. But,
some man, I'm sure, added it in there,
Yeah. What do we think about Jesusween?
Well, what's hilarious is I just saw a billboard outside. Where did I see this billboard? Anyway, it may have been a meme. It may have been outside of an actual church, but it said something to the effect of, Jesus cannot enter you until you've entered Jesus.
Oh.
I think that should be the slogan of Jesusween.
You could sell Jesus vibrators that way.
You know what? Those would sell. I think those would definitely sell.
Absolutely. And you would call them Jesusweens.
Jesusween.
We really need to start a store that says, I don't eat people, I eat pussy. And we got the Jesusweens.
We got the Jesusween.
No, it says in 2002, how it started was Pastor Paul requested 300 copies of the New Testament pocket-sized Bibles. And a few days before Halloween, word came to him. So he's saying he spoke with someone in the sky to give out the Bibles and knock on everyone's door. And instead of candy, you give the Bibles.
Oh, wow. That is misery as a child. Misery.
awful.
They're right up there with the people who hand out toothbrushes, you know?
Yeah, that's like getting raisins or something, you know?
No, but
That's not in the
worse.
spirit of
There's
Halloween. I mean,
It's
me and my
horrible.
daughter were joking the other day that Halloween is the one time of year where you encourage your children to go take candy from strangers. So I guess their head's kind of in the right place, but no. This is America, damn it. We take
Gosh.
candy from strangers on Halloween.
That's
I don't
right, we
know.
do. Hell yeah.
Praise
You know, my
Satan.
neighborhood actually does shots, so I'm very excited for Halloween this year.
Shots, like alcohol shots?
Like alcohol shots. They
They
pass
give
them
them
out.
to the parents?
And not only that, there's a map. There's a map of where the liquor
Wow.
lives. Yeah.
Oh my God. Whoever came up with that is my hero. That's
Right.
brilliant.
I know.
But you'd be so schnockered by the time you made it back to your house. It's a good thing you're just walking around the neighborhood, you know?
Exactly.
This is Halloween. Happy Halloween.
Happy Jesusween. Have you seen Jesusween?
God bless. Bless Satan.
Hand the
Give me a shot.
Bible. Someone else handed me over there.
All right, that's it for our episode today on Die Mad About It. Join us next week when we'll chat with a special guest. See you next Tuesday. That does not mean our podcast is on Tuesday. That's literally the name of the TikTok creator. See you next Tuesday. We're going to be talking about narcissism and custody and divorce issues. So that's what we're talking about next time on Die Mad About It. I'm Brooke, and you can find me the Truthful G on TikTok. And where can they find you, Amy?
I am Amy, as Brooke has already reiterated, and you can find me in Dragonflies and Whiskey.
Very cool. All right. So until then, just remember, women don't owe you shit, and you can die mad about it, Doug.